all this right here. This is all part of one big system, cold front draping right through here. So this is all just ahead of the cold front. But since we've kind of made our own little, we'll call it miniature cold front, ahead of the big one, the air on the backside of this is not going to be as supportive for severe weather. And we're not going to get another update from the Storm Prediction Center for another, looks like another less than 2 hours. Remember, an hour and a half, 2 hours? But really would not be surprised if they take this level 1 area. Let me turn the storms back on there so it'll make it a little bit easier to see. But I wouldn't be surprised if they take this level 1 area and take wherever the line has made it to that point. So maybe this line has made it to right around here, and they just trim it back and maybe expand this green area a little bit more, because we're not going to have the ability to make our air mass or our environment more conductive to getting severe weather. So it's just going to be rain. Just going to be some heavy rainfall after this, and that's causing some flooding concerns. In fact, we have a couple of flood warnings. Lookout Creek near New England, Big Creek near Alpharetta, Swanee Creek near Swanee, of course, and then looks like a couple more that are out of our area. But we're going to see some street flooding. What's up, Chris?
The flooded road.
Okay. So it looks like we do have flooded roads. Chamblee and Dunwoody between American Peachtree is flooded, and then I-285 at Ashford, Dunwoody, and Douglas Boulevard west of Highway 5 are all flooded. And this is only going to probably get a little bit worse, especially on the east side here. So the heavy rainfall, for the most part, is done with. So we'll start to drain those streets. And so as stuff runs down the streets and into the culverts and whatnot, there's probably still going to be some street flooding for the next couple of hours, but it'll be an improving situation for everybody west of this line. East of this line, of course, it hasn't even begun. In places like Athens, you guys haven't seen the heavy rainfall quite yet, but minor street flooding is also possible. And let's see, we have a picture of the interstate there just outside the station. Of course, it's absolutely soaking wet. Thankfully, the traffic wasn't too heavy today, with it being a holiday and whatnot. Thank goodness it wasn't, because it was pouring during the second half of the morning commute. It really picked up. We'll go back a couple of hours here. This was, let me turn my timestamp back on there. So the last 2 hours, the heavy rainfall hadn't quite made it. By 7:45, this is what the radar looked like at 7:45, and hadn't quite made it into Atlanta. But then we go ahead another hour, and it was just absolutely pouring around 9 o'clock, about 45 minutes ago. And so Covington, Athens, Washington, Milledgeville, Phoenix, Thomaston, you're up next to see just really heavy rainfall. And looking at this, I don't even see any strokes of lightning. We'll do a lightning count on this and see if anything is coming of it, but it looks like there's hardly anything. Yeah, I did the tracker and absolutely nothing. So that also bodes well for our risk for severe weather ahead of this line. What we're really worried about is the damaging wind gusts, and I haven't seen any reports of damaging wind gusts from the National Weather Service, from any sort of emergency managers. So that's nice. And it's especially nice because it's been raining. It rained yesterday, right? Very heavy, very, very soggy days. We're raining this morning. So you don't want a line of rainfall to come through with a bunch of 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, because you need trees to fall over. So this is maybe one of the better case scenarios you can get with a line of showers and thunderstorms. And this is barely even any thunderstorm. It's just heavy rainfall, soaking rains, causing some minor flooding. So if you do live in a flood prone area and you're still to the east of this line, be wary of that, and you may have to find an alternate route to get home or to get where you need to go late this morning and into this afternoon. Actually, just got an alert, speaking of, from the FAA. There is a ground stop for some arriving flights at Hartsfield-Jackson right now, which makes a lot of sense. I'm going to go back to my misery map here and see if we have any more flight delays added. It was at 64 about 5 or 10 minutes ago. It looks like it's still at 64. So traveling to and from Atlanta, it looks like there's some planes still taking off. A Delta plane just took off there. Those planes may be going to the west, kind of flying against the big line of showers. So that's nice, but keep that in mind. I mean, just going to the airport. It's already kind of a wild ride getting to the airport down 75 or down 285, which is the sheer amount of people that come into there. And so then you add in the 3 or 4 lanes of traffic with slippery roads. It's just kind of nasty.